What's going on, Egoists? We're back with another video. Welcome to BlueLock for Life, where we talk about everything BlueLock. We are going to be giving a review for BlueLock chapter 350 today, and this is what we've been waiting on, so I'm excited to get into this. So we're going to get into all the gritty parts, and we're going to slowly dissect this chapter, because definitely a lot was shown here. So with enough talking, let's get straight into it. So as we see in the beginning of the chapter, as we already know, like I said, Ego was sitting there aura farming and waiting for his little moment to come in there. You saw him posted up on the wall, just chilling like, that's a good question, Isagi. Let me answer that.
You merely adopted the dark.
Right? But, I mean, this is what we wanted. We wanted a little more information from him. We didn't get no backstories or no flashbacks like I wanted, but it still was perfect because it gave us a lot better understanding of what Ego is in general, right? So just as we learn in their understanding that how someone implements their lifestyle within their play style within soccer, how their external surroundings, everything that they went through, their experiences, their interpretations, how all of these manifest within their moral compass pretty much is ego, and how their interpretation of that specific type of mindset and how they implement it, that's their ego, right? So this is very important for us because now we understand, with this being, you know, the world's aiming for the world's best striker, this being the world's best team in general, right? Because it's the team with everyone anticipating and trying to be the world's best striker. Now we see where they have to come to even more of an understanding, a copacetic understanding of what that looks like, right? What does the best team of strikers aiming to be the best look like?
We need a staff meeting. Everyone, a staff meeting.
While still being able to function and, you know, cohabitate on the field so that they can have what happened with Ren and Isagi not happen again, right? We're gonna get to Ren. We're gonna get to Ren. Don't worry. But that was very interesting to me because I feel like now we have a lot more direction. So I'm just like the rest of BlueLock. Like I'm like, okay, now we can get somewhere. Now we're all kind of more on the same page now, which is really dope. And we saw Asagi's mind just started jogging and turning like he always does, right? Understanding now of, okay, he wants to go back to. He's realizing he's always been that rebel. He's always been the one that wants to beat the best. He doesn't really, I mean, he wants to be the best, but I guess even when he is the best, he has to figure out, and I guess we'll see how he adapts to that. He has to figure out how, when he's pretty much the biggest light within the field, on the field, how is he still going to have that drive as that rebel mentality, that rebel character of his, of trying to outdo the other person. But I mean, there's different routes he could take, right? Even if he's, let's say, according to perspective on the field, if he is the best on the field, right, there's certain other ways where he can do that. Maybe if it's against his teammates to keep himself still in the game, keep himself still trying to get better and better every single play. There's little different things he could do. So I'm intrigued to see how he's going to address that, because there's going to be times where he may be considered the best on the field, and how is he still going to be able to, you know, perform at a high level? We don't want to see any more cases of him being lackluster or just trying to figure out what to do next or go against a really strong opponent. But now we know with this rebel mentality, though, the better the opponent he has, the better he's going to be, which is dope, which we always love about him. But we still want him to continue to hone his basics, so he himself is still starting to get into that area of being considered the best of the best, just in terms of his own abilities, right? So I'm really excited to see what happens with Isagi next. I love how he was so focused on just bettering BlueLock that he wanted to take himself out the next game. But we're going to segue right into it. Ego said no, right? Ego said no, that's not what we're going to do. The one who's going to get taken out is Atoshi Ren, sadly, my boy. But like we talked about in the last one, we didn't get a full understanding of what Ego was, but we understood, okay, Isagi was about to score, and Ren pretty much sabotaged and messed up the goal because he wasn't thinking about really winning the game, right? It was more so just about beating Isagi in that moment. And that's what we thought Ego was. It's all about just ego and I'm better than you, and I'm going to sabotage your shot, and I'm going to do this. But now we have more clarity on it, understanding, no, this is the implementation of a mindset. It's of the concept and your compass of how you're going to maneuver within this concept of being the world's best. So now that we understand that, and understand that now we have to be thinking on the world's best team ever mindset, that was unacceptable what Ren did, because now we understand that was not of a high caliber movement. That wasn't smart at all, right?
Disgusting.
We understand, okay, especially if you're just looking at the characteristics and the situation at hand. If this goal does not go in, we lose. And he didn't care about that, really, right? Just saying it for what it is. He didn't really care about that, and they lost because of that. So he's gonna have to learn from that. And as you see, Ego benched him. straight up, and he benched him kind of just like secondarily while still talking to Asagi, not even really recognizing Rin. So we already know Rin's about to go off next chapter. I'm looking forward to seeing how that interaction is going to go. And we already know Ego plays chess, right? So this is all part of Rin's development as well too. But I'm intrigued to see the routes that he takes in terms of how he's going to egg Itoshi Rin on to develop, because I think that game highlighted a lot, because we never really see Rin struggle like that, except for, you know, of course, him back and forth with Asagi. But even then, he usually was always kind of right on Asagi's tail, if not above him, right? So now I'm intrigued to see how he's going to develop. How is he going to mesh now with the team starting to kind of correspond and get to an understanding of what they want to look like as the world's best, aiming for that world's best striker title, and now seeing how they can collaborate and how their egos can now mesh together to just make some next level stuff. It reminds me of Kuroko no Basket too. Y'all remember where it was the zone versus the team zone, like on a whole different level. So I'm excited to see what that's going to look like for Itoshi Rin. I wouldn't mind either too with her for his development if his brother or something came in. You know what I'm saying? If Itoshi Sei came in and been like, dude, I saw that game. Like, what was you thinking? Trash.
Disgusting.
Like, just something to egg him on, or I'm pretty sure Ego can do it himself or figure something out. He's going to say something to him who's on the sidelines, and I'm intrigued to see that interaction, how that goes. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about that too as well. Do you think that his brother should show up or something just to egg him on or something? We know as long as they keep winning, Itoshi Sei, we're going to get to see Asagi, potentially Rin, and Itoshi Sei all on the same team. I say potentially Rin because, you know, anything can happen still. We know he's about to be very angry right now. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know the outcome of that anger, right? He could be one of the ones that ends up leaving. I say one of the ones because I'm going to segue as well too, right? So we're going to segue right now. Let's talk about my boy, Karasu Tapito, right? Understanding how we saw in the last game, he was one of the ones where he felt like when he abandoned more so of the ego greatest striker mentality, that new outlets were made about in the field, new pathways were made, and just people were developing and showing off a little bit that they don't usually get to show off, right? And he was one of them. So we see him, he directly addresses ego and pretty much says like, your way potentially doesn't work. Asagi and Rin clash because of your way of this whole be the best striker thing. So we're saying this isn't the way for us to win. He wants to win and he wants to do it with his team, but he has different ideas on potentially going about doing it. Like I was saying in the last chapter, that's what I was talking about. So there's a little bit of heads clashing, and he said there's a few of us. So he might be speaking for a certain amount of individuals on the team. So I'm intrigued to see what they decide to do, because Ego is pretty much telling them like, hey, just the way I betted on y'all have been betting me. This has been an exchange. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all from the beginning, this is an experiment. It's an experiment for the best of the best. He's saying, you know, you got to get with it or lay down and get out. He's
Deal with it.
saying you don't have to stay here. If you want to leave. So I'm intrigued to see if anyone actually gets up and leaves, right? And how that would affect the team. But the main thing we understand is that people got to make a choice. This is how it's always been, and we're going to see if they can mesh. But I think he might be a little bit more satisfied now with that understanding now, that copacetic understanding now of the lifestyle and their each character's moral compass of how they go about living that lifestyle is the ego. So if they can match their egos within a certain concept of what the world's best striker looks like and how a team of strikers goes about doing so, they're going to be on a whole different level. And this is something where, remember, this is moral compasses about their lifestyles and experiences. The more they experience each game they play, they hold meetings and keep adjusting the system. It's going to just be on some diabolic stuff if it goes well. So I'm intrigued to see if it goes well. And if he stays, right, potentially some people could leave. But I think a lot of them, though, you know, now that they have this understanding, I think a lot of them are figuring stuff out. I know Asagi's not the only one whose brain is noggin is journey right now. Baro, a bunch of people, right? Chigiri, a bunch of people are just processing. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like and how that's going to affect in the next game. What do y'all think too about this next game? Y'all excited? I don't know who we're playing against next, but I'm excited to see how that's going to go. My boy Rin is on the bench, like I said. But I'm intrigued to see what happens. Oh, we also got to talk about, what do y'all think about what Ego said, right? He said the reason why y'all lost, not really because of head clashing or whatever. He wasn't really even worried about that. I mean, I guess he kind of was, because he took Ren out. Again, I'm not trying to say that just to keep saying it, but it still just kind of shocked me. But he was saying more so some of y'all didn't believe that you could win. Some of y'all didn't believe that you could play at the best of the best capability. And that's very true. So we understand more so belief. And again, that understanding, coming to this copacetic understanding and then believing in it. So they have to implement a mental image and an understanding amongst the group of what that team looks like, that's of the best striker, that's of a team full of egoists properly. But then they also have to believe it. and stay within that mindset the whole time they're playing the game. So mental strength is on a whole nother level of what we're seeing, has to be adjusted to as well. And we know certain ones of our characters' mentalities, you know, kind of be wavering. So I'm just intrigued to see how all this plays out. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let me know any theories you guys have as well in the comments of just potentially new things that we're going to be seeing. Do you have any interpretations or any guesses of anyone who may leave? Do you think Cardoso's actually going to leave? Do you think, I don't know for sure. I was kind of more sure before the conversation. Now with how well that Ego pretty much dropped the ego bomb of what it is, I feel like he can get with that. But I mean, it's up to him. He might still be dissatisfied with that, and he still wants to play a different way, and he might end up choosing another route. So I'm intrigued to see what he chooses, and the other people that he was talking about, what, you know, if maybe a conversation later ends up happening that night amongst themselves that we might see or something, you know what I'm saying? So let me know any other inferences that you guys have as well too, because I'm intrigued to see about that. Do y'all want to see Ren's brother pop up and just, you know, just tease him a little bit or
Disgusting.
something, you know what I'm saying? I'm intrigued to see how Ren's gonna develop from this, because we've been seeing this whole time. Ren's been kind of more on the top tier of this thing, so he hasn't really struggled. But I that's what I wanted to talk to you about as well. We understand that like you said, some of you for a second didn't believe you were worthy of beating the best or being the best. And I think Ren was one of those ones that's guilty, and I think that's why he's getting taken out, right? Because remember, when Asagi was messing up, what did Asagi do? He discarded himself. He understood his purpose, and when he finally understood what he had to do against Hugo, he did it. And then he abandoned the play that they were already doing because that wasn't working, right? And he went about a new strategy and teaming up with Karuso and doing some dope stuff. But Ren didn't adjust. Ren lost sight of, hey, this team's really good. This is what we need to beat. A team that is equal to them, if not better, needs to adjust and do this, etc. But he couldn't do that. He was so focused on Asagi and his, you know, his little going back and forth with Asagi. And he's saying, "Oh, you're just gonna abandon me. You're gonna abandon playing and doing our thing that we're doing. Oh, well, I'm gonna get you." Like, that was his mentality of it. And we thought this was what ego was, but now that we understand that's not what ego is, and it's more so of just your moral compass of how you go about being the best. Now we understand the standard is the best, and there was nothing the best about that play and that strategy except for just kind of like dirt.
It smells like hot garbage.
Wasn't really smart. So we're living and we're learning, right? So I'm excited to see again what happens next. But let me know in the comments if I missed any theories that you guys have, or if you guys just want to bring up any things that you guys caught up from the chapter. Let me know in the comments below. But I'm excited, man. We got a lot of stuff on the way. We got a lot of good matches coming up, but more importantly, we got a system that's going to be reinvented. BlueLock is getting reinvented, y'all. So I'm excited to see what that's going to look like individually for all our main characters, right? Because it's a team of Egoists, so all of our main characters, and just seeing how what ego said to them, how that influenced them, how did that influence their outlook of their ego? Did it boost it up? Did it change it, right? We know with Asagi it's more so of a kind of like a change, but it's more so of reverting back to what he already was and now acknowledging what that is and identifying his best parts. And now he's gonna have to try to make that his norm, right? Those best parts, and being able to activate that at all times. And the same thing with every other character. So I'm looking forward to seeing their training as well, right? What training are you gonna do is there gonna be a little bit more of a mental challenge training and visualization, a lot more group meetings and just copacetic lining up of ideas so that they're more of a well-organized unit now on what being that best striker, that best team of strikers looks like, what being BlueLock looks like, right? So I'm probably gonna end this video right here. If you stay to the end, I appreciate you. Don't forget to please like, comment, and subscribe for more. I'm gonna try to stay as consistent as I can with on these, y'all. But yeah, man, it's lit, man. I'm excited to see what happens next. I don't really know what's going to happen. I had to make a prediction for just the next chapter. I think potentially, like I said, Karasu, there could be a meeting that night because he said they're going to start back up tomorrow. I know his brain's already churning, but I'm saying some players may meet up and just kind of want to divulge more into the conversation of the ego and some decisions may be made. So that would probably be my prediction for the next chapter of what's going on within that. Or we could just be, you know, cut all the trash out and get straight to the next day, and then they're gonna start training. So yeah, but I'll see y'all soon. Peace.